Alright guys, so this is gonna be a fully unscripted video chatting about one of my craziest, well, the craziest artist interaction that I've ever had. So let's just go. So firstly, I'm gonna say, I think I'm gonna make this a series, just unscripted videos, just kind of chatting about whatever I want that's unscripted. Random stuff like this, maybe a story time series where not necessarily like crazy artist interactions every time, but just story time. So I think I'm gonna make that a series on this channel. But let's just get straight into it. So I'll set the scene, bro. I'm laughing even thinking about this. It was so crazy. So I just dropped out of college. I was 20 years old, left college to do music full time, and I was going on a trip to LA and then Texas to see some family, but LA just for music stuff. So I'd been talking to an artist who I was going to be mixing for from LA, and I also had like my manager at the time was out there. So I was gonna stay with just my manager. But then this artist was like, oh, you know, I have like a crib, like you can come stay with me for a bit if you want, and we can work on stuff. I was like, you know what, like that'd be sick. Might as well get as much as I can from the trip, right? So I agreed to it. Everything seemed fine. He seemed like a fairly normal dude. And then it was quite a rush trip. I remember asking him like, yo, can you show me where I'm gonna be staying, like whatever section of the house or room or like whatever. And then he sent me like a really weird like close-up photo of like a pillow and a blanket. That should have been my first red flag, bro. I don't know what I was thinking, but I was like, okay, that's kind of weird. Maybe he just didn't like really understand my question. But anyway, I get there, he picks me up. This guy's got a BMW, so I'm like, that's fire, bro. Get in the Beamer at LAX, and then we start driving back to, I guess, where his apartment is. And then everything's like fine at first, like we're just kind of chatting. And then it just starts getting weird. Like, I think in that first car ride even, he started like acting just sus. Like he'd like look over at me while he was driving and like pretend to like go in for a kiss. And then like when I looked at him, like quickly pull away. And like, regarded, like if this is you and your boys and like, that's just part of the humor, you know, sus humor, like I get it. But it's like, this is the first time I'm meeting you, bro. Like, this is the first interaction we're having. You're like doing this. It was just like, so I was already like, Then we get back to his apartment and I walk in. I'm like, oh, it's a nice, like, I can't remember really. It was kind of like in like not a complex, but like kind of esque, because it had like a big pool in the middle of all the apartments and like a gym and stuff. It was pretty cool. But we go into his apartment and I walk in. I'm like, okay, cool, closet, Around the corner, it's a kitchen, sick. And then like a living room. I'm like, that's a nice little apartment. But then I noticed there was like no bedroom. So I firstly asked him like, well, where do you sleep? And he said like, oh, like the couch folds out into like a bed, so he does that. I was like, okay, like for a bachelor, you know, young guy. I think he was like 22 when I went, or 21, and I was like, you know, it makes sense. But then I asked him like, okay, well, where am I gonna sleep if there's no like bedroom? There's only like this pull-out bed thing. And he was like, oh nah, like you can just sleep like next to me on the floor, like on the pull-out bed. Like I don't even really remember, but I think it was double layered to where like he would sleep on the top and I would sleep on the bottom, like kind of next to underneath him type of thing. And maybe like if we were cool already and like I kind of trusted him more, I'd have been chill with that. But just because of like all the sus stuff he was doing in the car already, and it wasn't just a kissing thing, like he would say stuff or just act like weird. I was like, bro, I don't want to sleep next to you, dog. Like, I'm not doing that. So then he's like, oh, okay, well, like I have another house, like that my dad's busy developing or something. Like you can stay over there if you want. So I'm like, okay, cool. Like that sounds good. So then we go over there. It's a little bit of a drive, and it's like, it's like being like renovated, bro. There was like no running water. Like the kitchen was all like, I can't remember what was like not finished, but there was a lot of things that like weren't finished. I don't like the flooring or like the cabinets or some stuff. Like there was a lot of stuff in the house that needed fixing up. And also the front door didn't have a lock on it. So I was like, okay. But I was like, dude, I'd rather stay here, bro, than stay with this dude, like sleeping right next to him while he's acting sus all night. So that's what happened. I ended up staying at this other house for like, I think I was with him for, it was long, bro. It was either like 7 days or 10 days. And granted, he was nice. Like we went out, we did stuff, went for like meals and stuff. It was fun. But he also just kept trying to convince me the whole time to like move in with him, move to LA and move in with him. And I was trying to explain like, dude, as a Canadian, I can't do that unless I have a job. Plus, obviously, I didn't really want to. But I was like, I can't do that unless I have a job, blah, blah. And he was like, oh, no, we can figure it out. We can figure it out. You know, like this person can hire you. My studio engineer at this studio can hire you as an engineer. Which I didn't really think would have happened. But yeah, that just added like another dynamic and layer to it. Like the whole time he was trying to convince me to move there. And I was just like, bruh, like, oh my God. I couldn't imagine anything worse, bro. Moving in with this dude in this house that was busy being renovated. And also he wanted like me to help him set up a studio while we were there, which was cool. But then he kept referring to it as like our studio. This is gonna be our studio. Da, da, da. I'm like, bro, this is like the first time I'm meeting you, dude. Like, just relax, bro. So anyway, that was the craziest thing. I don't remember what else happened, if there's anything else crazy or like weird, but it's just the whole time was just kind of weird. I think he's a genuinely good guy. I don't know where that sus sense of humor or like thing really came in. I don't know if that's legit or not, but it was definitely an experience. Definitely a crazy experience to have, you know, straight out of college or dropped out of college. And after that, I went to go chill with the guy that was like kind of my manager at the time in Santa Monica, which was lovely. We went to a concert. I went around Santa Monica, went to the pier, whatever it's called. So I had a good end to that trip, and then Texas was awesome, and I went to Vegas, and everything else was awesome. But the start to my trip was that, and it was very interesting. And after that, we didn't speak again because he wanted me to go to a dinner with him once I'd already left him and gone to my manager's place. I was like, dude, I'm not gonna pay the Uber like all the way. It was like all the way across LA. He wanted me to pay the Uber there. I was like, I can come if you pick me up. I'm not gonna pay the Uber there. And I told him like I can't do it. Then he got all mad at me and blah blah blah. And then we had a real falling out. And then like he got his money back on PayPal for the mixes that I did for him, which was upsetting. But it is what it is. That was the craziest story. We're not in contact anymore. But I do YouTube his name every now and then just to see what he's doing. Wish him the best, but not for me, please. Thank you. So yeah, guys, that was my little crazy artist interaction in LA when I was 20. I'm about to be 22 in 2 weeks, which is crazy. That was literally like 2 years ago. Literally almost exactly 2 years ago. And yeah, just a crazy time period. Maybe I was 19 even, but just a crazy time period of my life. And thought I'd share that story. So I'll have many other crazy stories to tell you guys, I'm sure. I like the story time thing. It kind of just adds a nice break into all the usual content that I post on here and my main channel and everything. So yeah, if you like that, let me know. Let me know what you would have done, bro, if that was you in that situation. Are you sleeping on that bed next to him, that pull-out bed? Be honest, bro. Be honest. And I'll see y'all in another video, bro. Peace.